important. Wasn't an idea.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and all of you potential Toastmasters out there. Welcome to the show today. I know you were probably tuning in to see Jennifer Smith. However, Jennifer's not available today. I think she's at a conference in Phoenix, and she asked me to fill in for her and Jean Dunford. So with me today, of course, is my host, my co-host, Phyllis Tribby, Distinguished Toastmaster, past District Governor. Hi, Phyllis. How are you doing today?
Good morning. And how are you? And how are all of our folks out there? You know, the reason we're on Facebook Live is so you can send us a message. So as you can tell, Ken is visibly looking at Facebook Live at this minute. Send us a message. Say hello. Facebook Live at this minute.
Terribly sorry about that. I don't know if you heard all of that, but for some
little
reason,
feedback on what I was saying.
Yes, I got a little feedback here, and I was trying to get the audio turned off. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't usually do that.
Technology, it's just ghost ridden. Ghost ridden.
Yeah, you're right.
With technology.
A little bit of ghost here and there, because what happened was I kept, as I brought up the Facebook page, the audio kept clicking on, even though normally I just click it off and it stays off. But for some reason, like you said, we have ghosts in the machines that occasionally will get in the way. But anyway.
Well, no matter how much you pay for the equipment, these things happen. My son sits and looks at these huge mammoth screens all around the room. It's like being in a gaming room, which is probably what you would call it, only twice the size. It's absolutely huge. And the other night, they all went to brilliant color.
Oh my gosh.
This flash in color. We had no races from any place around the world, just brilliant color.
Yeah, I think there's just some gremlins.
Yeah, that's it.
Inhabit the computer from time to time just to challenge us, because just when I think, oh, I've got this, something goes awry, and I have to readjust my thinking and learn something new, because a lot of times it's unintended user error.
Well, they say a speck of dust can do it.
Exactly. Anyway, so today, Phyllis, we're going to have a little bit of a shorter meeting. We're going to close up about 6:20. I have another meeting to get to. But I wanted to talk today about the role of the Vice President of Public Relations. Now, this is a role that I have served in that role, but I have to confess, I've not been very good at it. And I didn't realize at the time, of course, that was many years ago, that I was in that role. But I didn't realize the resources that were available. And some of the resources we've talked about on the website. And today, we're going to focus on the VPPR role. And I want to show folks where they can find stuff on the website and how useful it can be. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and pull up the TI website. Let me do that.
Well, public relations is probably the most important part. You need to have that advertisement for your club if your club is going to grow. So a great public relations person is essential.
Exactly. And, for me, I was never very talented when it came to social media. It wasn't something that initially attracted me. But I've had to learn, like Facebook over the years, and,
right.
Free Toast, those kinds of things. But I still feel that my education is lacking, and I didn't have a strong background in public relations anyway. But I did discover that you can overcome that by going to classes, taking classes, looking at things online. And I wanted to start by showing folks where to find some really useful information So if you can see my screen, I think it's up there, you'll notice that I've got the resources tab pulled down. So this is where we're going to start today. One of the things I want to draw to everyone's attention is over here under resources. You've got resource library, public speaking tips, and then you've got podcasts. Now, I don't know if do you listen to podcasts very often?
Well, YouTube is my favorite channel.
Yes, I love it. But right here under the resources tab at the TI, there's a list of podcasts. I'm going to click on that. And this is a great learning tool. If there are things that you want to look up, and it's like an audio book. For example, the first one up here is Mind Vision over Eyesight by a blind Toastmaster. Things on bilingual clubs, periodic table, this guy must be a chemist, of communication skills. And I'm not going to go through all of these. I don't know how many there are. There are a lot. And if you just kind of scroll down, you will have an opportunity. Most of these are 20, 30 minutes. Some are go to 40. But these are very informative podcasts that have been created by experienced Toastmasters or others and just posted on the website. So like this one, specialty themed clubs. That's a great podcast. I listen to that. There's a lot of stuff. And I realized, we have a lot of specialty themed clubs that are very, very successful. Your club website, there's something that the VPPR can use decidedly as a marketing and recruiting asset. And I've been learning more and more about Free Toast Toast and how to use it and how to post things and improve its utility. So I won't go through all of these, but I really encourage our viewers to go onto the website, go under resources and podcasts, and take a look at some of these really wonderful podcasts that you can listen to and learn stuff. You can search through them, like this one, Effective Training Tools and Techniques. Who couldn't use that if you're teaching like a TLI or district officer training? So I encourage you to go and just explore. You can't break it, but you can learn a lot. The other one under the resource tab that I want to bring to folks' attention is the video library. This is another one that you may not be as aware of as some of the other opportunities that are in the reference section or resource section. But for example, Speechcraft overview. Speechcraft has changed a lot over the last couple of years. Public speaking webinars. Here's a review of the first virtual convention. But keep scrolling because it looks like, well, there aren't many here, but there really are. You just have to scroll down. Communicating across cultures. That's a really good one. Humor and body language. Cultural awareness. That's something that I think is becoming more and more important as the full scope of the international nature of Toastmasters comes to the fore. Now you mentioned you like YouTube. Actually, you can find these videos on YouTube. And I don't know if you've had that experience, Phyllis, or not.
Yeah, I have. And it is always amazing to me when I see one of my members performing a speech. Somebody has taken and downloaded it onto YouTube. But absolutely, once you start watching those particular videos, you get more and more of that type of video. So once I've watched something in Toastmasters, then I get more videos on Toastmasters.
Exactly. And here's like very practical stuff. Like I was going to point out, not only the cultural awareness, but look at this, interview success, know yourself. And then there's another one, interview success practice and making a lasting impression. And we can post, just as we post to Facebook every day for Wake Up with Toastmasters, we can also post it and record it to our YouTube channel. So that's another option for us to consider. But
training.
For training, yes. And I want to go down here just so you know, and you can look at the bottom here and you can see there are 117 items under the video category. So just, whatever you're looking for, you can do a search. But here's a continuation of some of these. Here's like a 30-second, and they're all over the place. Some of these are 30 minutes long. Some of them are about an hour, almost an hour long. Interview success. So you just have to go through how to use visual aids effectively. Various testimonials about how Toastmasters helped. So take a moment to explore both the podcast option. Both are under the resource tab. Here's the podcasts and the video library. And you will just be amazed at the number and depth of what's out there. Any comments about that, Phyllis? Do you have a new place to explore now?
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful.
I think that I am the same as everybody else in Toastmasters. We go into Leadership Central. We do what we're supposed to do. We take care of our own personal clubs, and we do, unless we're really forced to look for something else, we lose all of this information. We don't go and look at it. And somebody needs to just set aside a little bit of time. If you're going on to Club Central, give yourself an extra 15 minutes and see what's here that could be of interest to you. Because there are 117 items, there has to be something that would benefit each person.
Yeah, and I assume they're constantly sort of adding and changing up, but you're absolutely right. We tend to go to the website to do what we need to do, but we don't explore it. And that's what I'm encouraging our viewers to do. And speaking of Leadership Central, you mentioned that. Here's something that we're going to pull up and look at. Under Leadership Central, and it seems maybe this is not the right place for it. People might not look for it here. But if you look, this is Club Central. But over here under District Central, there's this tab called Public Relations. And if you click on that tab, all of a sudden you have a ton of reference material that's going to help your club, and especially the VPPR. There is so much information in here. I spent some time exploring this, and I'm just going to we won't have an opportunity to go into all of it, of course, but I want to make sure people have an opportunity to appreciate just how robust this section is, and particularly if you are a VPPR. Of course, I want you to go to the TLI, but this is information that you will find invaluable. So it first talks about what is public relations. And of course, this is the province of the district PRM or the club VPPR. And here are the lists of resources that I want to just quickly talk a little bit about. Here's a training webinar for the public relations manager, training slides for that position. And this webinar is over an hour. It's very robust, very comprehensive, talks a lot about it. The slides explains what is the role of the PRM. And I tend to use the term PRM, even though that's a district level position, and VPPR pretty much interchangeably. The difference is, because it's a similar, very, very similar role, the VPPR, their focus is on promoting the club, and the PRM, that focus is on promoting the district overall. Did you realize all of this was here?
As I say, I'm guilty about going to Leadership Central, doing what I have to do. The resources that I've looked at was something that I was involved in, like maybe contests or detailed information about putting on a hybrid contest. Those type things are only what I have limited myself to. I'm sorry to tell people that,
No, don't be sorry. I mean,
I think I'm like everybody else. You just don't think about it. And I'm with you. This tab's in the wrong place because
Yeah,
it says district leadership. I'm thinking that anything that's in that line belongs to the district, not
exactly.
club. And this is all club information.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, and I would not have realized it was there until I just kind of went exploring and I said, oh, wow, look at this. This is great. Here's like the VPPR responsibilities. If you click on that, it gives you a list. Here are your responsibilities. Protect the brand. Use the PR tool and resources available to you. And as I said, kind of exploring this, it's incredible how much is there. So, this will give you an overview, but one of the things I really want to get to, and I would encourage folks to watch this webinar. It's there are some Toastmaster leaders who talk about the PR role and how to enhance it. But one of the things, if you don't look at anything else and you're the VPPR, look at this booklet. I'm going to pull this up. It's in PDF format. It's called Let the World Know. Publicity and Promotion Handbook. It's about 60 pages, 59 pages, but it really gives you, if you've never taken a PR course, let me pull down to the contents. It gives you a PR course, a study guide, if you will, of how to get things moving in your role as VPPR. You can see it describes what PR is. How do you create an effective PR program? So this tells you how to set goals, how to develop a media list, how to send out a news release, you name it, tactics to reach a target audience. That's incredibly important because we want to reach people who are interested in improving their communication and leadership skills. Well, how do we do this? How do we identify those people? Here's a guidebook to tell us how to do it. Talks about the PR team. And then there's an appendix with tons and tons and tons of really good resources that are very easy to access. So if you are the VP PR, or even if you're not, if you're just interested in learning more about how to promote your club or how to design, let's say, a social media campaign, this will help you tremendously. So I'm going to take this down now. Do you have any questions or comments before I do that, Phyllis?
Nope. As I say, it's great to have.
It's fantastic. So if you are VPPR, or if you're interested in moving up to PRM, I encourage you to go under this leadership tab, pull up the public relation options, and just begin exploring all of these various programs on things like developing a calendar for public relations, another training, a couple of training seminars. I think you'll just benefit tremendously. So I'm going to stop there. I know we're cutting things a little bit short today because we have other obligations, but I think and I hope that our viewers, and I don't see anybody on the line right now, but I hope folks will get from today's show an opportunity to explore and to feel free to explore the website. And especially if you are VPPR, go in there and take a look and just consider it a learning opportunity. Any final words, Phyllis?
Nope, it's a great opportunity. That's what I tell everyone, that Toastmasters is like getting a free college education. Whatever it is that you want to learn, Toastmasters has something available for you that will give you a full detailed information about how this is run, how it happens, what you should do, where to go about making it happen. So even say examples of what is supposed to be in a flyer, say just or who, constant media, everything is there. So take advantage.
Absolutely. I'm glad you described that way. It is like a college course. And about the cheapest college course you can take. And there's so much you can learn. Well, we're going to be signing off for now. We will be back tomorrow, and we have a guest tomorrow. Who's our guest tomorrow, Phyllis?
James Persudich. He
Wonderful.
is from Toastmasters.
Excellent. Looking forward to hearing his Toastmaster journey. In the meantime, if our viewers have any questions or comments, or they'd like to be on the show, please send me an email at d115cgd@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you later. See you
Take
tomorrow,
care.
actually. We'll be there tomorrow. Bye-bye.